Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I am so excited for this particular episode because this episode is all about Michelle Bacardi. And this episode is going to let our viewers in on an incredible journey that she has been on and an incredible life that she has lived and the choices that she is making now to help people and excel herself as well as her career. So I've worked with Michelle. I've had the privilege of working with Michelle, and it is a total honor to introduce you to everybody. And so, why don't you tell us, in your words, why it is that you have become the coach that you are today? And then maybe take us back through how that came to being.
Well, thank you for that gracious opening, Miss Tracy. I feel honored by it. Thank you. Um, my coaching business actually started only about 3 years ago, to be very honest. Um, it started during that awful period in everyone's lives that we had, and I had actually lost my job. And you know that saying where there's always been a whisper of something in your mind and you always push it aside? Well, it came in so clear when I lost that at that of it's time. It's time to go after what you've always wanted to do. And similar to your story, Tracy, we become experts in what we've been through.
Mhm.
And I am a life coach, and my expertise is in helping women who have that whisper of something more, who can feel lost and lonely. They think they're the only ones in the world feeling this, and they just don't know how to get out of their own way.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times that can deal with they're repeating the same goal over and over and over again. They think, oh, I have to, that infamous January 1st. I have to set goals. I have to do this. I have to. And there is really no I have to. You get to choose to, and you get to build what you want. And so I love to guide women in breaking those beliefs of what they think they have to do, breaking that generational training. There are things from my past that my mother taught me that I keep close to my heart. And there are other things where I'm like, that doesn't serve me anymore. So that's the like foundation of within and I call my business Michelle Wellness 360. And I use the circle of 360 because we have to come full circle to grow. We can't
Mhm.
just go halfway. And yes, you can do a 180 degree, you can do 30, you can do 180, you can do all of this. But when you do a 360, it's a big circle. You're encompassing it all. You're building your life, the life that you want. And this came from my journey of not overcoming, but understanding how to work with my anxiety, how to understand and remove myself from toxic relationships, how to build um, boundaries, how to have my voice to come forward to be able to understand and know what I want, and how I have worked very hard to build a joyful life filled with blessings and gratitude.
Mm.
And every single woman deserves that. The moment they put their feet on the floor, I don't care where they are in their life. We need to start doing that today, feeling that. It was funny, I was doing some research and I never knew this, probably because I don't play the game of chess. But the queen chess piece is the most powerful piece in the chess game.
Mhm.
And I never realized that. And that to me is just another sign that every woman should step into that queen power every single day. From before you get to where you want to be, in the mess of it all, and as you're coming out of it.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, seriously amazing.
Sorry, I just when you say is it of a certain age where that you're really targeting or like obviously you can help all women, but are you looking more for the woman that's had some life experience and realized that she's she's
I
more
do because that I blossomed not until after I was 50.
Mm.
However, I have also worked with women in their late 20s and 30s. Some of them right now are. And it's ironic because when they have conversations with me, it's the exact same conversation I had with myself later in life. So I'm honored that they're saying something isn't right and I need some help. And I love that. And that's what I was always going for help. I will be very honest with you. I always was trying to get help, but I was trying to get help to fix myself for somebody else.
Mhm.
Mm.
And when we're doing that, that's a huge red flag. Huge. Even if someone tells you, if you want this to work, you need to fix this, this, and this. There has to be, there can't be that type of a demand. And that's what I lived with for like 20 years. And so I do, and part of it has to be, I think a lot of it like snowballed when I was starting to go through menopause because my hormones were freaking like in premenopause was like starting to go off the wall. So here I am, heightened anxiety, heightened trying to please somebody, heightened like not unfulfilled and like feeling empty. And my hormones were like bing, 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 bing. So I think that just like brought everything to the surface.
So you know what a not safe space is. So now you know what a safe space is and you know how to provide that then, right? Because you know
Yes.
what is not a good
Yeah.
place to be in trying to help yourself. That's awesome because
Yeah.
to
And
identify that.
I just had something happen like 2 weeks ago. We don't have to get into it, but it triggered an old feeling. And the partner I have now, I put him in this box that he was going to react like an old partner would have.
Mm.
Mm.
But now I recognize the trigger. Side note, he didn't react like the old partner. I understood the trigger. And 2 days later, I sat down and I said, I need to explain my reaction. It was a trigger. And here's what the trigger was. And here's why I felt triggered. And this is why I had to work through it. And I asked him very nicely not to understand it, not to think any different, but to just listen and understand where my behavior came from. And at the end, all was good. All was
Did you
good.
take your own advice?
Yeah, but it took me a moment. It was a trigger, but now I understand that. Before I wouldn't understand that trigger. Before it was, oh, look at you, idiot. You still can't get anything right. You're still making him unhappy. He has every right to be mad at me. And it had nothing to do with that. And it wasn't just him, it was in the work I was doing. I was away from my children. There was just this snowball of stuff.
So sorry, Tracy, but I'm just gonna ask another one. So you mentioned lost and lonely. And so
Mhm.
do you are able to pull out or to help us women understand loneliness isn't necessarily like being lonely, like being alone isn't necessarily being lonely. You know what I'm
Exactly.
trying to say there?
Yes,
And like
yes.
help us understand that,
Yes.
comfortable with us.
I when I was home, I could never be alone because I would not allow my mind, because I was afraid of where my mind was going to go. So if I was alone, there was a lot of drinking, which is an antidepressant, which wasn't any good at all, to this. And then, yes, I now understand that being able to be alone is probably being your own best company. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. If I just, I now, if I want to go to a museum, go to a museum. If I want to go have lunch, go have lunch. Like being able to sit and be in your own company is empowering. I do have bouts of loneliness. I live 1,500 miles away from my children. I don't have many relatives around me any longer. My parents have passed. So there are bouts of loneliness. I make sure I understand which is which and how do I, if I'm feeling lonely, well, phone FaceTime works wonderful, Zooms. Maybe it's time for a visit to my children. Maybe it's a date night because we both have been running around crazy all week. But being able, if you cannot sit still and be quiet for 10 to 15 minutes, that's a sign. We should be able to sit with it. We might have thoughts, we might have to journal, we might have feelings of emotions, but we have to work through them. That's part of our growth.
And you help people do that,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, I work with a tool, and I know Tracy, you've worked with it with me. Um, Many people use it. It's called the Wheel of Life. And the Wheel of Life is a tool that works with 8 branches of your life. And sometimes they have different branches, but I work with some of the basics. But my work is unique because I also have a series of guided questions
Mhm.
that help you with each branch. So it is not a guide to lead you in a direction. There is no right or wrong answers in the Wheel of Life. The only thing the Wheel of Life does is it builds a foundation of where you are today, and it starts to build the blueprint of where you want to be in 24 months. I use 24 months. And in this wheel and these guided questions, you're able to assess today where you are, and then you assess where you want to be. But what people get nervous about, and what's unique to me, is a lot of people zoom right to what's the biggest difference. So let's choose your health for a second. If you go through the series of questions and you pick health, you're at maybe a 2. A 2 is the low, 1 is the lowest you are, 10 is you're rocking it, exactly where you want to be. And maybe it's 2. Maybe you haven't worked out in a while, you've put on a little weight. That's where people's mind goes to. But my guidance isn't on your physical. Physical is part of it, but then I ask you about your mindset. I ask you about your emotions. I ask you about a higher power because health is all encompassing.
So you get behind, you get
I
the
get it,
symptoms
get
of
dig,
why,
I dig in.
yeah, why
I
am I
start
not
digging.
taking care of
I
my body? And you're digging, you're getting into
Yeah,
it.
I want to say that is that it like that everything that you've been saying, Michelle, there's two words that keep coming up for me, and that is awareness and self-reflection. And there is a big difference to having awareness, whereby you can become aware of something, but to have that extra guided capacity from you to help have that self-reflection piece to be able to dissect that and to understand it, that is where your genius is. I have used the Wheel of Life before I did it with you. I had used the Wheel of Life before as a tool, and it became a judgment. It was like, oh, this is what I've done. This is the judgment I'm going to hold on the fact that, my wheel would literally not get out of a driveway because there were so many dents in it. I was like, okay, well, this is obviously what I need to work on. But your approach to the Wheel of Life is so refreshing and so different because there is a holistic piece to every one of those spokes. It's not just the health, like you said, it's the whole, what is behind all of that that is going to create the whole person. And every one of those categories, those guided questions help to create the wholeness that is there. So it's not just an awareness of, okay, yes, my life needs to be improved over here. There is the ability to create that self-reflection of why it's important. Why do I need this? Why is this even a thing that I need to be thinking about? Like, it creates that ability to really kind of turn inwards. And then, of course, your coaching allows people to get through the messy part to do the 360, like your title is, to come to the other end.
And like you said, not judgy, right? Safe
No,
space, can
yes,
expose yourself truly
yes.
and really get to
Yeah,
to what you need to do.
yeah.
But here's the unique thing. Tracy E., thank you for sharing them with me. But she talked about it gets self-judgment, and I think about all the things I have to improve on. When you're done, there's of course an assessment where you do your which one has the biggest difference, which one has the closest. And what I first concentrate on and what I build the part of the coaching on is what you're doing well. Where's your closeness? Because in this closeness, in what's going well in your life, Tracy G, there's already the skill set
Mm,
to get you through what you want to improve on.
mhm.
You just don't know it because you're not seeing it. And Tracy, I'm going to just be very bold with Tracy. There was one part in her health she really wanted to concentrate on. And there's one part that was like, it's spot on. She knows exactly what she's doing. Well, that's where I went. I went to the part that was spot on because that skill was there that could help her in the other part.
Mhm.
And when Tracy realized it, it was like, oh, it's there. And so that helped relieves that self-judgment. It helps remove that self-doubt because we're building from the inside already that you have.
It also creates the possibility that you can create the change that you're looking to create. That's, I think, what's really so important there is that it creates that possibility that you can do the thing that you want to do.
Yep. And if you know what you want to do, you know exactly where it is, you know exactly what you want, My second course is Activating Your Life with the Power of Why. And when you are able to sit in front of somebody and explain your passion, purpose, goal, mission, project, whatever word you use, and talk nonstop about it. When I say 10 minutes, people roll their eyes at me. Then there comes that success. Then comes that drive, that kind of helps you get over your bad days, your good, whatever is blocking you. When I built that why for my race in 2023, there was no stopping me. I don't care how many times I hit a wall. In the end, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, I didn't have that strong of a why. And people do not understand what a strong, powerful why can do. So those are the foundations of my Michelle Wellness 360. And then I build into one-on-one coaching with people.
Which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm just going to be bold, and I'm just going to say to any of our listeners out there, you owe it to yourself, if nothing else, than to work with Michelle on the wheel of life to see where it is that you are excelling at, so that you can use those components to fill out the parts that you feel are empty. That in itself is a gift that is well worth the investment. It really is.
Thank you very much. Thank
And
you.
how would someone get a hold of you? Do you have a group, or do they schedule a
Uh,
call, or?
They can schedule a call. I think here you're going to, at the bottom here, you'll put down my contact information, but everything is on my website. Or you can follow me on Instagram. There's tons there. It's Michelle Bocardi _wellness. My Instagram. I do not use any Facebook groups or anything like that at this time. I do I have a newsletter that goes out weekly. So if you click on my website, you can sign up for my newsletter. And in there, you will also see when I'm going to do a training, I do a on Zoom call so that people can have it for them.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
amazing,
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely we'll highlight your information in our video description, so anyone can get in touch with you, as they should.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much. This was fun. It's not always easy talking about yourselves, but when you have that passion and you have your why, it becomes easier to do.
And that shows through.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.